Turn it on.
We're rolling.
I'd like to call this meeting to order. Are we recording, Howard?
Yes.
All right, I will go ahead and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. If you could place your right hand over your heart. If anybody has a hat on, please take it off. And military, please feel free to salute after me. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Amen. All right, roll call. Since we don't have a sitting secretary, I'll go ahead and oversee that. George Thomas, I am here. Howard Benjamin.
Here.
Joseph Lazarovitz.
Here.
All right, we have 3 of the 5 for the executive committee, which means we have a quorum and we are legally able to conduct business. Kamara, you missed it. We can do the flag salute again. Do you guys want to do the flag salute again?
No, that's okay. Let's continue.
All right, good. I can do the pledge.
No,
No, why don't you salute it?
All right. Comments from the chair. I have nothing at this time. Moving on to public comment. Mr. Hopp, you have the only speaker card in, sir. Would you like to speak now or wait till we get to item 7?
You want to move me up, that's fine.
Mr. Hopp, you were recognized, sir.
Excuse me, sir, where do I fill out the card?
I'm going to go ahead and just recognize you.
Thank you, sir.
I've been getting several emails regarding when the next Legislative Information Committee is. I've been trying since May 12th to reserve it, the meeting at the LA Police Department since May 12th. The first incident, one of the line officers says I have to call the city attorney, city clerk's office to do the reservation. Then he refused to take my information, and I had to do a Public Records Act request if anybody wants on who the people I need to contact. That I received a response on April 26th. I sent them an overnight mailer asking them who do I contact to reserve. They've done nothing. Q has been nice enough to go over there numerous times to ask what can we do to reserve. They've blown him off. They're just terrible trash in my opinion. And I have requested and requested in writing when. I've sent emails and copies of the links of the emails to several board members so they see that I'm trying to reserve the room. The reason why I'm trying to reserve the room is there was a complaint with a stakeholder at Sizzler that they felt they had to buy something there. So I wanted to make it as neutral as possible, and that was the best alternative. But the LAPD is going out of their way not to respond. They're discounting this council, but it's very funny, when they want money, they're always Johnny on the spot. If anybody wants to see some of the letters, I'll be presenting all my email threads and the responses from the Police Commission, Mr. Richard T-Bank, and several other people. So I will provide all that so everybody can see the timeline that
Did
I've
they give a
attempted.
reason why they won't let you have the room?
They're not responding.
Oh, period.
Nope, not their job.
Have
Not
you-
their union job.
Have you tried here at the library to reserve this room
How about the A2?
or A2?
There's a reason, there's an individual that wants to attend, and I would like to hold it at the police department.
Okay.
So, I have a letter, and I was gonna show Benjamin, anybody could see it, of when I sent the overnight at my cost. One of their responses, from the police department discovery unit downtown, not here, from downtown, where they listed not only both individuals, but their email addresses. I've sent them via emails, I've sent them letters, they will not respond. It is not their union job. If anybody else would like to go over there to attempt, that's fine. Q had some people that he wanted to help on May 7th. He was unable to secure it for that day.
Actually, we did.
For
It
that
was a
Saturday?
special meeting. It was not,
Was it on a Saturday?
no, it wasn't the
Oh,
Saturday.
was it, so it was the 9th that I wanted, correct?
Yeah, and then I took it over because I showed up Monday and then the person was there, so I was able to reserve it. The only way I could get it is to show up to meet these 2 people. One is Melanie Ryan and the other one is Tanny.
But you didn't reserve Saturday, May 9th.
No, I was
Okay.
supposed to call this morning, didn't have time, but
Okay, I have a question. You've called numerous times. What was your responses from LAPD when you've called? I believe you told me they didn't know who they were.
Yeah.
They
that
wouldn't
one
take down
time-
your name and phone number for someone to contact you back. You were blown off when you physically showed up,
Well,
one time.
they weren't available that time,
right?
so.
But they wouldn't take your information.
And then they said to call back, so I did, and, you know, couldn't get an answer, or couldn't get kept ringing, but no one was able to pick it up, so.
Okay. So I'll be glad to show all my findings and my threads and go from there. And also I had to send an attorney over there, which they were blown off. They said, talk to our city attorney about reserving the room, so. I'm gonna ask that friend of mine to show up.
I'll call the sergeant again and get.
Those are not, the sergeant's not the one to reserve. According to LAP Discovery in writing, there's these two people right here.
Okay,
The adjutant secretary and the analyst, in which they provided their email address and everything. So
Okay. Yeah.
this is from Discovery in their writing. If
Alright.
anyone wants to see it, they're more than welcome to.
okay.
Thank you.
Okay, next.
All right,
Thursday.
Candido.
Thank you, Mr. President. Well, not this last week, but the last two weekends before, we were doing cleanups in the alleys behind the Country General Store and a little further down. And one Saturday, about 3 weeks ago, I think everybody already knows, there was a robbery, there was an actual gun holdup. Mr. President, you're not aware of that?
I didn't hear about that.
No, well, it did happen. I mean, it was someone
broad
on the
daylight?
street, yeah, broad daylight. They caught the gentleman, the person. But one of the things that went on with the business on was the trash cans. The trash cans seemed to be a big issue. It's still a big issue, and I think with the new year coming up, we got to focus on those trash cans. One of the ideas that was brought forth by actually about 3 of the members, business owners, was they would like to adopt one of the cans and then actually get them refurbished, possibly with their own money rather than
That's not a
neighborhood
bad
council
idea.
money. Putting a plaque on there that says, in memory of, 2 of the names were Inardi Bernardi.
Can't do
and
it.
Who was the
Why?
other one? There was somebody else that
You
was.
can adopt it, but you can't name it.
Okay, all right, well, we'll
You
do
can't
what we.
name a trash can?
We'll, putting a plaque or putting even the neighborhood council on
You
there.
know, as somebody that's worked at a trash can in Van Nuys for 15 years, that hurts me. deeply, that you can't
Yeah,
name
no,
it.
I already
Trash can.
approached the city attorney on the trash can. Businesses can adopt it all they want, but they can't, single themselves out for being the adoptee.
No, they wouldn't have, that's not what I'm talking about, if I may, Mr.
Well, you
President.
can't put a plaque on it, you can't put anything on the trash can.
Okay, that's a little different, I'll find out further information
Do you wanna
about
put
this.
something on the agenda?
But, I'd like it on the agenda, in fact, in
Give
regards
me
to,
3 sentences.
making the trash cans, priority on Van Nuys Boulevard in this,
The
coming-
VNNC to make
Yeah.
the trash cans on VN Boulevard.
priority. And if I may
A
finish,
priority.
what could be done was, the Van Nuys Neighborhood Council could make a plaque, put it on there, and then,
VNNC to look into the possibility of
refurbishing the trash cans and having them adopted by, businesses in the area.
refurbishing the trash cans.
We would go all the way up to,
and have
our northern border stops at the tracks and
the,
go all the way down
by
to Oxnard.
Santa
Okay.
the trash cans and have the local businesses adopt said trash
Yeah.
can.
And not putting their names on there, but for example, Inardi Bernardi was a former councilman, whose name would be placed on there.
We could have a Zev Yaroslavsky trash can,
Whatever, I mean, it could
a
go
Sheila
whatever.
Kuhl trash
Sheila
can,
Kuhl trash can, whoever,
a
but
Tony
it will,
Cardenas trash can.
we'll make 3 of those.
We get through, there, I knew there was a joke
How about
there.
a George Thomas trash can?
Well, I think more of a dumpster for me.
So,
All right, so-
and lastly, are we gonna be talking about the open seats that are still available?
We're gonna talk about everything, this is my last meeting as council president, we're electing new leadership next Wednesday.
Mr.
And,
President, you've done a wonderful job.
well, it's been an
Oh,
experience, I appreciate
All right, because
all the fun.
there are people that are looking at a couple of positions, including City Montanez, for nonprofit, so there are people that are willing
She
to
sits in the
step
Balboa.
in and take those positions.
Well,
As I talked to her today.
I see nothing wrong with having a former state assemblywoman sit on this council, but, so I make a motion that we adopt the language as is, the VNNC to make, the trash cans on Van Nuys Boulevard a priority, the VNNC to look into the possibility of refurbishing the trash cans, and have the local businesses adopt said trash cans. Do I have a second on the motion?
Second.
With that, I call for the vote. I vote yes. Mr.
Yes.
Benjamin?
Yes,
Mr. Lazarovitz?
yes.
Madam Raines?
No.
All right.
I vote yes.
Yes.
Very good, thank you. All right, motion passes. It's on the agenda. All right, let's go ahead and, yes, sir.
I'm here for the Mid-Valley Youth again. I have my funding forms I'd like to submit.
Okay, please submit those to Stacy Raines there. Mid-Valley Youth funding request. Do we have a number, sir? That you're requesting, how much?
$5,000.
$5 grand, $5,000, not to exceed. And then
What
the
is it for?
city,
Okay.
the city attorney, requests that we have, 3 sentences about what you're asking for, so the Mid-Valley Youth, funding request to ask the VNNC for $5,000 for what?
$5,000 would require a contract with the city of Los Angeles.
Did you wanna go that far, where you have to do a contract with the city?
No,
So then what's the
So
lowest,
4,500?
2,500?
yes,
Okay,
that would help.
so
And what is
2,500.
it for?
To help replace some of the equipment and uniforms that was taken when we had people leave our club last season. We had a little bit over 60 sets of equipment taken away from us.
All right, to help replace equipment and uniforms, was it stolen?
Basically, I mean, the parents took it and we tried to track them down, call them, go to their
So
homes.
stolen's really not the right word. To help replace equipment and uniforms that are no longer in the possession of. And then what's your official title, the Mid-Valley Youth Council, or what is it?
I'm general manager.
But what the organization?
Mid-Valley Youth Club,
Mid-Valley Youth.
Is it a 501c3?
yes.
Okay.
Alright. There he is. How are you, sir?
Sorry,
No, you're all good.
I sent you an email, a PDF of it.
Okay.
This is for Van Nuys, we wrote this for Van Nuys.
Okay, you want us to put it on the agenda?
Please, I have to, I'm just one thing, so I brought enough copies to the whole audience and everybody.
Thank you, Bart.
So,
All right, so then, yes, I will see to it that that gets on the agenda tonight.
I appreciate it. You know, if you've got other needs. I sent you an email.
I'll loop you in.
Thank you.
See you, my man. Thank you. All right, Candido, talk to me.
Mr. President, if I may, in regards to that request for funding for the football team, if I recall when it was brought to the meeting last month, it was that they were losing their position over at the Van Nuys High School, and they were having, it was completely different from what I'm hearing now. So I'm in support of the group, but I want to make sure that what was stated at the last meeting.
I think both things are happening, because they're losing their place, but then they're also requesting funds, so.
But no, when requested funding, I thought it was to get a unification.
No, I
We
think
have
what,
clarification for that at the meeting?
well, we can have clarification next week, if that's okay.
Yes, sir.
What's the,
Well, that came last month, saying they were being kicked out of their spot, and then now they're requesting funding, so we want to address both issues, so.
who was getting kicked out?
The Mid-Valley Youth Club,
From where?
from the park they were at.
Oh,
Yeah.
Isn't that right?
It was like 11:45 at night, so they were like the last to speak, if I recall. All right, so the language is the Mid-Valley Youth Club funding request to ask the VNNC for $2,500 to help replace equipment and uniforms that no longer are in possession of the Mid-Valley Youth Club, not to exceed $2,500. That is the motion. Do I have a second?
second,
I vote yes. Mr. Benjamin?
yes.
Mr. Lazarovitz?
Yes.
And
Yes.
Ms. Secretary, yes. Ms. Treasurer? All right, that's on the agenda. Next up, that was Bart Reed, who is a transportation advocate and with the Sierra Club. He wants us to put the Van Nuys Regional Rail Infrastructure Resolution 2016 on the agenda. I passed it out. Maybe Mr. Ackerman can look over it and tell us if that's kind of where we are. We can come back to that. But for the interests of just putting it on the agenda, I make a motion that we put it on the agenda and we vote on it next week. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All right, I call for the vote. I vote yes. Mr.
Yes.
Benjamin, Mr. Lazarovitz?
Yes.
Ms. Raines?
No?
There we go. It's on the agenda. All right, so that is the Van Nuys Regional Rail Infrastructure Resolution 2016. Can somebody please make sure that that gets to Jerry, or if you could just call him and read him over the phone? I think it touches upon all his favorite stuff, the Metrolink and stuff like that, so. I'll put Kamara in charge of that. Kamara, you're going to call Jerry and talk about the trains.
I will.
Very good. Moving on. Hey, George, here's some of the items that I want to put on the agenda. This is from Carino. We'll just go through both of these. The first one, Los Angeles Citywide Ordinance Item, Community Impact Statement on the repeal of second dwelling unit conditional ordinance by City Planning. Council will discuss the city's draft ordinance and updates and information of draft ordinance CPC 2016-1245 CA, which allows second dwelling unit on single-family lots of R-Zone 1 properties. I make a motion we adopt the language as is and put that on the agenda
Second.
for next week. I vote yes. Mr. Benjamin?
Yes.
Lazarovitz?
Yes.
And Raines?
Yes.
Very good. Number 2, from Q, funding request for May 14th, Van Nuys Community Cleanup in providing water and food for the event with collaboration for Council District 6, not to exceed $250. I enjoy the language. I like the language. It'll be good to work with CD6 in Van Nuys on cleaning up. So without objection, I make a motion we adopt that language as is. Do I have a
Second.
any objections on that?
No objection.
All right, so do I have a second on the motion?
Yes.
All right, I vote yes. Mr. Benjamin?
Yes.
Yes.
Mr. Lazarovitz and Ms. Raines?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right,
At
so
this
the-
point in time, I guess I will have to buy this.
You
Because
will
I'm
what?
the only one with the credit card. Unless we
Until,
cut a check.
yeah, the 250, but it's May 4th. Well, when's our council meeting? The 11th?
The 11th.
Yeah.
Well, the new administration will be in charge.
I would use the card. if I were
Yeah.
you.
Use the card.
Yeah, that's a very good idea to go ahead and just take, initiative, hammer that out before we turn these powerful reins of government over to somebody else. So we have, yes, we
This
have
one, you might
both
do the
of
next one.
Carino's agenda items are on for next week.
Okay.
All right.
Sir,
Yes, sir.
if I may, what are we asking for? The money's gonna be used $250. I know it's a minimal.
Food and water.
250 Food and water. What, water? I mean, water, what kind of food?
Hopefully Perrier or some kind of sparkling water.
Snack sandwiches?
Candido.
Okay, so you want.
I like the
because
Perrier
know-
lime, but not all the time. I'm
Because I
kind
know
of.
John
Children
America
food.
could get free water from the food bank, so we
It's
send.
possible.
I know it's not possible, you can get it.
If we have.
It can be done. That's what Reagan used to say. It can be done.
I'll
So
call.
even if we save $125, that's $125 stays in the account.
Well-
for something else.
If we save $125, we are at this point 2 months away from the deadline.
Oh,
We have-
a lot. I just learned at our last funding meeting, we can only have a maximum of 20 grand in our account. So we actually have like 24 grand.
Really?
And
We're going
and
to
to get
Vegas.
that additional 4,000, I have to do some paperwork for it. But because we had around 16,000, and I literally just printed out the statement, but I think I left it in my car. When we were at 16,000 in April, every quarter they give around 9,000 ish. But if you're at say at 16,000, we just got capped up to 20, and now we have extra money that we can get. But yeah, we have around 24,000.
So in other words, if we don't spend it, it goes right back into the city coffers, and that's the end of that.
Yeah.
Spend it.
So
Well,
I guess
and
we would-
also
Remember
I'm
the,
trying to figure
the
out this
trip?
week our budget, but we have to amend our budget. Because
Absolutely.
technically going forward, what I'm doing is not technically correct.
So then what we'll do is the new administration can take over and have like a special funding meeting
In
you know,
Vegas?
the following week or a couple weeks after. So all of that can be spent. And then we'll have a big trip to Vegas. That's exactly right,
The
Joseph.
Sacramento?
I
We're
bought,
in
I bought,
Atlantic City.
I bought a bunch of frisbees. I bought,
You know what, Palm Springs is nice this time of year
$700
because
worth of
the, like the cactus flowers are blooming.
I sent you the
you know?
email,
Yeah.
But it starts getting too
receipts
hot
on
after a
that.
couple. I used to live in Rancho Mirage.
And, I'm gonna get shirts for the new
I did. I
people,
went
I'm
to
gonna get
Rancho
plaques
Mirage
for the new
Elementary
people, I'm gonna get,
I'm thinking about buying a
A ton
house.
of outreach.
But whatever, we'll spend it like a drunk sailor. That'll be fantastic. But that'll be for the
Yeah.
next administration.
you never saw anybody spend like me.
So are we not figuring out our officers tonight?
We are so
No.
doing that, Stacy, and I'm
Well, we
sad
can't,
that I'm not going to be president anymore and just a
Yeah.
council member. But I appreciate
Share the kid.
Yeah.
all the trust that was put in me. I do.
Um,
The titles.
we can't vote on new officers tonight.
No, we're voting on putting it on the agenda.
the
the
agenda.
That's
next
all,
week.
that's all.
I thought we were establishing.
No,
officers.
no, 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 no.
Oh, yeah,
No,
that doesn't make
it's,
any
Good luck.
The whole
Good luck
council-
establishing
The whole
officers next
council has
week.
to vote.
Never mind.
Yeah, well, yeah, okay, all right. Well, it's fun to hope. I think Bill Clinton's from a town in Hope, Arkansas, right?
yes.
Yeah, so that's nice. All right. Well, emeritus is nice. You know, Howard and I picked up a nice little Latin word to put on our title. It looks good on the CV or the resume, as they say in this country. Well, I have many titles. I'm a lord in Scotland, so there you go. All right, moving on. We're just going to go down the list here, but in the interests of being officially official for Dunn and the FPPC and the FBI and the UN and whoever else is telling us how to run our government. 8A is the VNNC to elect new leadership, including all executive office committee members, as well as all new committee chairpersons. Now, we can't just put that on the agenda as one item. We're gonna have to go down the list. So,
Is that from the email that, I guess from Dunn sent?
I didn't get
See,
that.
he got it.
I didn't get that.
I
either.
got
got
it. Kathleen
You got it?
sent it. Yeah.
No, that's nice. It's
Can you
nice.
email it to George?
Yeah.
You don't have to
No,
write everything
I don't
down?
want it. I don't want to see it.
You have to put it on the agenda.
Plausible
The wording is already there.
Ability. There you
Plausible
go. There you
deniability.
go.
We're gonna go ahead and march forward and have our normal council meeting next week, and we're gonna elect officers, and then those people are going to get to take over this beautiful gem that is our local council. All right, so, going down the list, Ackerman, talk to me.
Just while we're doing this, may I suggest we have another motion on the agenda for the next week meeting to elect our budget reps, which we also should do.
Okay, we'll do that. Mention it after we get through the leadership and council chair people, or the chairmanships. So, first one will be the VNNC to elect